right? And then what did you do? You started to follow what they were doing. Yes, no, maybe so. Help me out. And I definitely would love your feedback, right? So when you think about it, you guys couldn't even talk then at one time, right? You couldn't even talk yourself out of it. It was just like you got up when you fell down. Did you get back up, right, ladies and gentlemen? Why? Because at some point you were committed to learning how to walk. Just like when it comes to this business, is there anybody that has ever taught somebody how to walk in here? Can you teach someone how to walk? Really? You could teach somebody how to walk? Really? Honestly? You teach a baby how to walk? Really? Think about that. You can support them. You can have your hand out there. You can put them in a walker, right? But you can't watch this, ladies and gentlemen. You can support that absolutely. You can't teach them. They have to learn how to walk themselves, but you can support them all the way. Just like a walker is supporting the baby while it's walking. Am I making sense? Just like, can somebody actually teach you how to drive? Can someone teach you how to drive? They can show you where the stick is. They can show you where the brake is. They can show you where the gas pedal is, right? But no one can teach you how to drive. They can show you the fundamentals at the end of the day as they're doing it. But at the end of the story, you have to get in that car. Yes? Am I making sense? You have to get in that car. You got to start that bad boy. I cannot teach you how to use your foot. You have to learn that, right? Am I making sense? Just like when it came to writing. Nobody's talking back to me today for some reason. Maybe I'm not on point. But at the end of the day, when it came to writing your name, right? Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Can somebody tell her to call the number then? Maybe she needs to call in on the phone. Just call the number that's on the screen right there. That way she may be able to, okay, right, at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, when you're writing your name, right, can I show you? I can show you a T, but I cannot, at the end of the day, teach you how to write. You have to learn how to write yourself. Is that making sense to anybody? Like, I can't hold your hand and turn it and stuff like that, right? Is that making sense to anybody? Is everybody out of, I'm right? I can't hold your hand at the end of the day and do it, but I can support you 100% by doing certain calls, by having the company can have certain videos. They can actually have all kinds of training tools. We have conference calls. We have this training on Saturday. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, you have to do the work in order to learn. You got to get in that car. You got to move that car. You got to push that gas pedal. You got to push that brake. And that's when you're really learning how to drive. Am I making sense? So I could say, don't go through the stop signs. Don't go through the red lights. Yield when they say yield. Am I making sense? But at the end of the day, when you get in and drive, you got to know when to stop. I can't stop the car for you. And I'm really trying to help you here. A lot of people are saying, okay, what do I say? What do I do? It's just like in a car. You won't learn those things until you're actually in it. If you see a car coming, I'm not there, right? I'm not there. So I'm really trying to help you here of, Okay, what do I say when I get on the call? What do I say when I put the magnet on my car and somebody calls me? What do I say when somebody asks me to book a trip? What do I say? And at the end of the day, we can, you can be on every training call there is. You can ask as many people as you want. You will not learn how to book travel until you actually book travel. Yes, no, maybe so. You cannot learn how to talk on the phone until you talk on the phone. You follow what I'm saying? So the no matter how much I say, no matter how much your sponsor is talking to you, no matter none of that stuff, at the end of the day, it's like every situation is different. And the key thing is, watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Are you failing or are you going through the process? Are you failing or are you actually going through the process? See, a lot of us think of failure and it almost puts us in, but if I could fall in love with the process of learning, anybody got that? Watch this. Fall in love with the process of learning. I guarantee you'll fall in love with the process of earning. Am I helping somebody right now? See, it's like, man, now watch this. We talk about the learning. So right now, I'm going to teach you some things, right? I'm going to teach some things. Like I'm going to say, watch this. Let me see. Shanna, if there was a way that you could generate anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500, would you be interested in earning or hearing more information about that? Yes or no? Did you watch what I just said? Now, I just taught her what to say, right? I just taught her what to say. It's like a script. Anybody ever read from a script? You read the script. But at the end of the day, it's not going to process until you actually read the script to someone out there, right? Yes, no, maybe so. So I'm going to be asking y'all these questions as I'm talking, because when you're talking back, that means that y'all can hear me. So that's why I'm always asking you. I know y'all might be writing that down right now, but I just want you to help me out there. So at the end of the day, I can give you a tool, but if you don't use the tool, like you got all of the books, right? You got the tools. Okay, let's see. Let me see one. All right. Now watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Let it be known this company is moving forward strongly. They're really moving forward big time right now. Now I just want y'all to know. But I'm gonna show you something and how it's going down in China right now. very much done, right? And as you can see, that was right on YouTube. That was right on YouTube. So all I did was type in Travaris Global on YouTube, and I found it this morning. So things are actually being done now. Is that something that I may possibly be able to put in somewhere on on Facebook somewhere? It's a tool, but if I don't give the tool out, then the tool does not work. If I'm not giving that tool to thousands of people on a daily basis, that now I can share it on my Facebook or share it on some type of social network, would that make a difference? Yes or no? Absolutely. So the tools are here, but at the end of the day, guess what? It's up to you to use those tools. So now watch this. Learning is actually by whatever you hear, apply the information, and then did he say give it out one time or two times or three times and say it's not working? No. A leader doesn't do that. Be committed. Somebody asked, how many times do I send out information? How many calls should I make a week? Can somebody tell me how many calls you should make a week? Anybody got any idea? How many calls should I be making a week? Well, let's put it like this, ladies and gentlemen. How many goals do you set a week? How many goals do you set a week? Be honest. Just think about it. I'm asking questions. When you set your goals, right, you pretty much make as many calls until the job gets done. You don't measure by the amount of calls. You literally set the amount of hours you're going to work your business, and then you literally make as many calls. Not when the first person discourages you and you stop. Will you ever succeed in any business? It doesn't matter where you go. Like, for instance, if I hire you and I tell you to sit there for 4 hours and make calls, you're going to make those calls for $10 an hour. Yes. Does the man say, well, how many calls you? No. Well, guess what? When they got that system in place, they're looking at your quotas and saying, if you're not making as many calls as Shannon is making, and then they'll look at Shannon and then say, well, Sharon over here, she's making more. They start quoting you how many calls you should be making. Yes or yes. And then at the end of the day, if you're not meeting those calls, what do? They literally let you go. And then at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is that the only way a company can be successful? Is that the only way that company can be successful? If you are meeting your quotas. And if you're not meeting your quotas, they will come and fire you and bring somebody else on board. Is that how the company works? Is that the way the company works? Yes. So how does your company work? Have you fired yourself? How many of us have quit on our own business simply because we weren't putting in the work to get the results that we wanted to have? Yes or no? Now, watch this. When you're on your job, the more you do your job, did you not get better at the job? Yes or no? Oh my God. Y'all don't even want to talk back to me today. I'm just being truthful today. It's like literally, I got to get here. I got to sit in front of my desk, and I got to really, because I think some people think your business is different from your job. But if we put half the work that we put into our job, into our business, you will have a whole lot more success. Do you believe that? Am I making sense? Absolutely. So The one thing that I have realized with this opportunity and why a lot of people are not really as excited as they should be is because many folks don't even understand the industry itself. Many people don't believe in the industry itself. Everybody likes to travel, right? Everybody, if you like to travel, give me a one. If you enjoy traveling, give me a one. If many people really got attracted to this business because of travel, give me a one. If you were attracted to this business because it was travel, give me a one, right? You want to know what really, really, really attracts me to this business, particular business model? It's the industry. Look at what I just said. It's the industry. It's the industry. First and foremost, how many of you know how many tax systems there are? We talk about it. There's two. Am I making sense? The first one is your 1040, right? Which is the more you make, the more they take. Correct? The second one is a 1099. The more you make, the more you spend on your expenses of your business. Watch this. The more you give them what's left. Which one would you be more attractive to? And the next question really is, which one do you believe in the most? One or two? One or two, right? Why was most of us, why was most people not traveling? The lack of what? The lack of money and time. Anybody know what the two most valuable assets are in this world? Time and money. Time and money. Yes or no? I mean, if I'm teaching wrong, just tell me. I don't have a problem. When I realized time and money, and now watch this, ladies and gentlemen, would you really truly want somebody to control your time and money, knowing that they're the two most valuable assets that we have? If you really understood that, would you have ever given somebody that, like, even though your mom said go to school, get a good job, if you would have known that, would you, and that's just from understanding, the more I understand the business model, the more I am attracted to it. Because when you give somebody time, you give somebody control over your money, they automatically take 28 to 32% of the time. Now watch this. You labored your time, right, which was underpaid. Then you gave them 10 hours of your day, and then they have the audacity to even take time that they're not even compensating us for. Am I making sense? Am I making sense somewhere? So the more I understand something, the more, watch this, the more I'm be committed to it. So even if you're working right now, right, this would be a great way to literally transition. Come on, somebody. Transition from one to the other. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, now that I understand it, I had to literally transition over from it. It wasn't an emotional, it was literally intentional. Am I making sense? So when you become intentional at the end of the day, I don't have no choice. Has anybody ever said, I have to go to work because I got to pay my bills? Anybody ever said that? Like, what are you doing? I got to go to work. Has anybody ever declined somebody or something because you had to go to work? Like they might ask you to take them somewhere and you be like, no, I have to go to work, right? Well, the way you feel about work is the same way I feel about my business. You follow what I'm saying? Now, could there be some things that I could be doing on Saturday? Are there some things that I could be doing on Saturday? Sure it is. Could I be shopping as well on Saturday? Every Saturday, I'm here doing this call. Now, I'm not here all day, but guess what? I'm giving Saturday. It's still me working. I work the business around the clock. Why? Because if I can work for you 11, now I want y'all to understand what I'm saying here. Because the more you understand the industry, the more committed you will be to your business. Yes, no, maybe so. Once I understood it, it wasn't no longer, because guess what? There's so many people who love travel, but at the end of the day, the two things that's still taken up is what? Time and or money. Yes, no, maybe so. So the first thing that I had to get back was my time so that I could have more time to work on my income. And then when I understood the differences in income, then I really excelled. Am I making sense? Like when you take a linear income, I didn't know that there were any other. I knew about salary. Anybody know what salaries are? Anybody ever worked on a salary? Sure, you worked on a salary. Would I ever work salary again? Hell no. Because that means I'm giving up my whole life at that point. Because when I was working salary, they was really working the living heck out of me. Am I making sense somewhere? Then you have those who do get into sales and they understand how to sell. And at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, can I just tell you, life is about selling. So you got to get in love with selling. You got to get in love, fall in love with selling. I don't care if you own your own dentist practice. You still have to learn how to sell the business. I've had my own dry cleaning business. I still had to learn. How many of you want to be in business for yourself? Then if you want to be in business for yourself, guess what? You must learn how to sell and stop saying you're not a salesman. Am I making sense? I'm not saying you got to pressure anybody. Now you got pressured sales, but at the end of the day, you can sell something all day long and make money. Am I making sense to somebody? And once you get this, if you keep saying, I don't like to sell, you're actually distracting your money away from you. Am I making sense in your business? If you're saying, I don't like to sell, you're distracting your business. You're distracting it away from you. You have to fall in love with the process. I got to help you here. I don't like selling. I love selling information, because what is selling? Listen to what I'm saying. Watch this. Showing value. Somebody just say, showing the value. Everybody just type it. Showing the value. See, there's words that have a tendency to trick us up. Am I making sense? Would y'all agree with that? There's words that have a tendency to trick us up. For instance, like people say, you're failing. I'm not failing. See how that failure, and then what goes along with failure is what? Rejection or letdown. Am I making sense? So you actually are sabotaging your subconscious mind, which is what? now activating the emotions, not in the way that's going to excel you, but it is going to what? Depress you to the point that now you can't even do your business. Am I making sense? See, it's words that can excel you, right? There you go, hinder. There's words that can literally excel you to the top of the scale, but then you have those words that will literally, if I don't, it hinders you. How many of y'all ready to excel? And in the midst of excelling, you must change your words. You follow what I'm saying? Oh, so for instance, I remember when I really went to the event and I saw, and this anybody ever, I went to one of the big events and they were showing some of the people that actually was walking across the stage. And I looked at some of those people that were just regular, ordinary people. Some of them was young. Like you look at somebody, how many of you know Jackie Pittman, one of our diamonds right now, national diamonds, Jackie Pittman's? Her daughter is now in the business at 18 years old. And if you could literally see her daughter's teen at 18 years old, if it don't shake you a little bit to give you a little bit more confidence. See, how many of us see somebody else do something and it can give us a little bit more? It'll either give you more confidence or it will, you go into this jealousy state, right? Now, when you're working out of gratefulness, you got to learn how to celebrate that thing right now, right? This girl is 18 and she literally went to her boss at work and invited him to see her business. I'm helping somebody right now. See, she 18, but these young kids don't see life the way we see it sometimes. Why? Because she's catapulting. And now they literally motivating, proud of her. Her mother is proud of her, watching her follow her mother's footsteps. Am I making sense? Why? Because her mother inspired her by the level of success that her mother was having. Am I making sense? See, most of us was not inspired because we have too many friends that did not do what they were supposed to do. So we looked at them and then we got discouraged and said that stuff don't work. I know I was one of them. I was one of them. Why? Because all of my friends was going to work every day. All of my friends was complaining every Monday. All of my friends was doing, they was just like, look, I got to get me a job. Am I making sense? Because the majority of people go to work every single day unhappy, underpaid, underappreciated, and that's what we bought into. But how many of you know today, I am not buying into that bale of goods. And I will be the underdog. I will be the black sheep. I will be that one where I am a part of the few. The Bible even says many are called, but few are chosen. And at the end of the day, you choose yourself. I don't care how many of us have been distracted by somebody else's performance? How many of us have been distracted? Why? Because like this, imagine not being committed to your husband and you see another man walking down the street that comes up to you and he tries to sell you himself by, baby, listen, you ain't got to deal with that cat. I will, and he'll catch you when you're most vulnerable. Am I making sense? He's watching you, and then he'll come after you when he sees, oh, baby, let me just take you out to dinner. Let me show you how it's supposed to be. See, that's where a lot of people get pimped. Why? Because you're too busy watching them for the wrong reason. Just like people are waiting for you to fail. Am I making sense? People are watching, just waiting for you to quit. Why? Because they're going to come right after you. And then when they see the company doing what it's doing, it's going to come right after you. And they're going to say, listen, it's better on this side. The grass is greener on this side. The grass is only as green as you make it. Yes, no, maybe so. I don't care about that neighbor next door. I don't care about this. But at the end of the day, when I really understand this is not a sprint, but this is a marathon, how many people do you think would have quit their business if they had paid $500,000 for the business because they saw what Burger King was doing over there? Think about this. Just think about it for a second. A person buys a franchise and pays $500,000 for it, and then all of a sudden, McDonald's decides to change their menu, and that person quits their business that they invested in and go over to McDonald's. Do you think they're gonna literally right? That's it. That's a good one, Jamal. Right? Do you think they're gonna go over there and say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna quit this and I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna invest another $500,000. Think about it. So when you look at this opportunity and understand this opportunity, you're going to be able to share this opportunity with a little bit more confidence. Would you think so? Now think about this, ladies and gentlemen. It says an employee gets 4 to 5 tax write-offs, but an entrepreneur gets over 400 tax write-offs. Which one do you think you would be more committed to if you really understood this? Am I making sense? So you understand why I am psychologically unemployable. I will know. Don't they say once you know better, you're supposed to do better? Yes or no? Why? Because right now, ladies and gentlemen, do you have any idea of the tax write-offs that you can literally write off of your business? Like I just did a business trip and went on a cruise. Isn't it a beautiful thing to know that I can write every single dime off? Am I making sense? I got a parking lot expense of $165 while my car was parked in New Orleans. But ain't that a beautiful thing to know that you can write that off at the end of the year because it's an expense? If you knew that, would anybody be quitting because of $79? Would anybody quit because of the 70? No. If you were thinking long term instead of short term, then you would never quit your business. Why? Because the $79 is what enables you to get all of those tax write-offs. Am I helping somebody today? Now, you might have known this, but I had to recalibrate on it. Why? Because how many of us know somebody that Uncle Sam done charged them something and they had to pay a fee? They wound up owing the government. Anybody know anybody that has ever owed the government? Y'all don't have no friends that do that? Well, guess what? Do you think that would be good to actually share this opportunity? And instead of sharing the opportunity, why don't you share the tax video that then expands on home-based business and how they can get out? Is that making sense? So Sharon says she owed the government. So if her friend would have came up and said, I can help you fix that problem, right? That's also on YouTube. Okay? Now watch this. Let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see this one.
One of the best-selling business book series of all time, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. For the past several years, he's been a huge supporter of the network.
So instead of showing my opportunity, instead of showing the opportunity, how many of you can actually show one of your friends how it can change by a professional? Like, hey, Shannon, have you ever heard of Robert Kiyosaki? Am I making sense right there? And I don't want you to add it to your Facebook. I want you to simply, because everybody is adding, but it goes like this. If I connect to you, Annette, and I'll say, Annette, have you ever heard of Robert Kiyosaki? And she'd be like, yes. Do you know anything about him? Yes. You follow what I'm saying? So now, if you heard about him, wouldn't it be nice to actually do a little bit of research on him? Am I making sense? If the person says no, they don't understand, guess what? If a person is having a problem, let's take a look at this quick video right here versus me trying to sell somebody into travel when they're struggling with their income. Hello? Do you follow what I'm saying? You're trying to show them your business when they're struggling financially, so they won't even understand your business. Why? Because they're sick. Oh my God. I know I'm teaching good right now. So watch this video.
Supporter of the network marketing industry. He's made the claim that network marketing is the business of the 21st century. Mentor me, Robert.
So let me tell you why I endorse network marketing, or why I call it the power of it. The reason for it is, as an entrepreneur, this word here, network marketing, is the key to making a lot of money, to being successful. It's only those people who have an employee mentality, working for a paycheck, or like a specialist or a small business guy who just wants it for themselves. They don't understand the power of network marketing. Now let me give you, this is not just for the network marketing industry. You know, when you talk about television stations, they talk about a television network. That's how big people think. They think in terms of networks. When you talk about radio, they talk about a radio network. And the same thing, my friend owns a series of gas stations. He calls it a network of gas stations. So the rich use the term network a lot. And I know one of the reasons when I started to endorse network marketing is because in many circles it has a negative connotation. And that's because a lot of times people who shouldn't be in the business join the business, or also people abuse the business. But the reason I endorse network marketing is for people who really want to get out of the rat race.
Stop right there. Did he just say why people have a negative, watch this, a negative thinking process towards network marketing? Did he just say that? Yes. So when he's speaking here, he's not talking about Travaris Global, right? He's helping people understand what? Our industry and why we are doing what we're doing, and how many of us was ignorant to it, just like most of the people we're sharing it with. And then once we understood it, we literally stayed with it. Like, that's why you're here today. Am I making sense? Okay, let's continue.
Rat race, and really want to get on with, building a business by helping other people build their businesses. So that's why I endorse network marketing. The other reason I endorse it is because network marketing will give you the sales skills or the communication skills or the self-esteem and the emotional courage to go and knock on doors and talk to other people. If you don't have that courage, or you're more afraid of what somebody else thinks of you, you'll probably never be successful at network marketing, but you'll probably never be successful in business anyway. So I love network marketing because network marketing will take an average person like me or John and actually work with you and build you up so you have the personal courage to take the no's, to take the rejection.
Again, build you up. When you're working for somebody, you're not interested in being built up. You're just doing what they say do. Yes or no? They're just saying. Now, if you go out and do something you want to do, it's more than likely they don't want to build you up. They want you to learn their system and follow their system. And then at the end of the day, we're so busy building their business, we don't have time to build ourselves. Yes, no, maybe so. This is what we call confidence. This is where we're talking about when we start talking about confidence. When we start understanding, how many of us, when we started learning how to drive, we were very nervous? Give me a one. If you were nervous when you first started learning how to drive, sure. But how many of you, after learning how to drive and driving, you became more confident during the process of driving? It wasn't like you was just sitting there looking at the car. You was driving, you was driving, you were driving. So when I started this business back in 2004, this industry I wasn't familiar with. But the more I stayed in the industry, the more I was learning about the industry, and the more confident I was becoming with the industry, to the point that now the industry pays me well over $10,000 a month. Does that make sense? So it's just like right now, you're so confident in driving. How many of you can take your hands off the steering wheel when you drive? How many of you can use your leg when you drive? How many of you can actually do your makeup in the damn mirror while you're driving? How many of us can text while we're driving? Why? Because somewhere along the line, you're pretty confident in your driving abilities. Yes, yes, yes. Now, were you able to do your makeup in the mirror on the first day that you got behind that steering wheel? Absolutely not. He also said, I have a love for helping people, teaching people business, helping people to make the transition, helping people to understand. Do you think there's somebody in here that want to make $10,000 a month? Well, guess what? I guarantee you, the more you believe and understand in this business, I guarantee you the closer you're going to get to making your $10, $15, $20,000 a month, if the good Lord allows you to see it. You just have to start believing.
To not really care what, I mean, you do care, but what other people think of you. So the reason people are not successful is they want to follow the herd and do what everybody else does. And 90% of the people on this earth, when it comes to money, are financial losers. So if you're going to become successful, you cannot care what the thundering herd does. You've really got to break away. My rich dad called it the 90-10 rule. That meant 10% of the people make 90% of the money, and 90% of the people make 10% of the money. So the beauty of network marketing, there's no guarantees, but it gives you the opportunity to be in that 10%. And the way you get in that 10% is to find that person inside of you who cares more of what you think about yourself than you care what other people think of you. So the beauty of network marketing is it gives people the courage, the sales skills, the communication skills to be a leader. And that's what it takes to be successful in the world, is to be a leader. As an entrepreneur, I have built many businesses from scratch. And as some of you know, a lot of them crashed also. Statistics show that most new businesses fail within the first 5 years, 90% in fact. And of the 10% that survive, the remaining 10% crash in the second 5 years. So in other words, most are gone in 10 years. So I've looked at many different models, and one that stands out for me is network marketing. And the reason for that, it takes very little upfront cash. It's low overhead. You can do it part-time. It means keep your daytime job, but do this part-time. And once the business is up and running, it can generate enough income so that you can move from the left side to the right side of the quadrant. So let me tell you about my introduction to network marketing, because I had a very closed mind to it. Since I can build my own businesses, I said, why do I need a network marketing business? But about 15 years ago, I have a good friend, his name is Bill, and this guy is the best real estate investor I know. He has tons of assets in here. So I said, Bill, why did you start a network marketing business? And his answer was very simple. He says, it's my way of helping people. But more importantly, he says, the reason most people can't invest in real estate is because they don't have a business. They don't make enough money simply because taxes, debt, inflation, and retirement savings are killing them. They cannot even invest. So my friend Bill, who was a professional real estate entrepreneur, he says, I started a network marketing business so the people that worked with me could start their own business and then invest money with him. So with that, I realized then that network marketing wasn't about making money, but it was about helping people to help other people make money so they become financially free. So the beauty of network marketing, I said, like, it's very low.
Now, I'm going to stop that video right there. I'm gonna stop that video right there. Have you ever even thought about that, ladies and gentlemen, when you were building your business? Honestly, have you ever thought about that when you were building your business? So if I'm talking to Jimmy and I'm talking to Sensational Shirley and I'm talking to Annette, I'm saying we can use this business model to create income, and then on a bigger form we can now invest in other things like real estate. Am I making sense? See, all it is about you making money. Did I just show you another way that you can communicate with the people you're sharing it with? Because at the end of the day, we have to give hope. But then when you look at the network itself, am I making sense? When you look at the network, I'm aligning myself around like-minded people that I'm not looking at this tomorrow to be done. I'm looking at us to live forever and grow a legacy to the point that our children can eat. Why? Because the people I share it with, guess what? You got an 18-year-old that's in the business, and you can make it better for this person. Why? Because when we all get on one accord, am I making sense? Then we can do things. That's why I have a financial workshop once a month, every Sunday. Why? Because I have people that we are in alignment with. That's why I do personal development classes. Why? Because I'm aligning people to be strong. You're looking at it on the wrong level, and now you're saying, I quit. And then you leave the alliance of people that you were that at one point was committed. I don't even want you around here no more. Why? Because you're not committed. We're looking at this thing long term to the point that now we can do things, and we showed that the other day, this last week, when we took our personal development. I'm here every day, personal development. Why? Because you got to work on yourself every single day. Many of us are out of alignment with ourselves. Would y'all agree? Many of us are out of alignment with ourselves. Many of us have lost ourselves. And then you wonder why I keep saying, come to the class. Let's do this together. You cannot be the Lone Ranger in this business. You're going to suffer. But now watch this. I can say, okay, these are the 5-10 people that I want. I'm looking at those who have been committed. And then right now I can say, guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this marketing on another level to the point that now we are advertising on billboards. We're advertising on the radio. I don't want to deal with you when you got a whole bunch of other stuff going on. Can I work with that person? No. So what am I doing? We create diamonds to the point that you can now do other things. But if you're in it for just to make some money, which a lot of people are, they won't have the level of success that they need. Am I making sense? I'm really trying to help you guys today with this opportunity. Some people leave, don't even listen to what I'm saying. You don't listen to the Robert. It has to be a long time. Why? Because you should be building a financial wall around you and your family. I'm not going to quit. I got too much to lose. And you know where the losing is? It ain't the money, it's the people. Am I making sense? It's the people. People don't care how much you know, they care how much you care. And if you can get those following, because when you look at network marketing, it's about everybody. So those that may not be as strong, guess what? Those that are a little bit stronger can help those weak to come up and make us become a much better organization. Am I making sense? The organizations that walk in harmony are the ones, and all you need, listen, ladies and gentlemen, guess how many people you need to get it started? I'm really trying to help you. You only need about 3 or 4 people. period. Jesus only had 12. That's my magic number, 12. I want 12 strong leaders that I know at the end of the day, we can buy commercial property. Am I making sense? That have 20 units in it. You don't want a whole lot of you don't want hundreds of thousands of people in something like that. You just need your investment group. And if we all can literally get to, okay, let me help you get to $10,000. Let me help you get to 10,000. Those are the people that will be more committed to the movement. Everybody's not going to be committed to the movement. Just like when you look at TD Jakes, you look at that movement that he has created. Do you think there's some people that have helped him build that empire? Absolutely. There's some people that are benefiting to that opportunity, but we don't realize how committed we need to be to each other. So hopefully I've said something today. Again, when you're communicating with people, stop pushing just the travel. Push the understanding of the industry. And the more people that begin to understand the industry and educate themselves and study the industry, I guarantee you the stronger your organization will become. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for taking a moment out of your time to listen to the training on today. Go out there and enjoy your weekend on purpose. But build your business with a purpose. Build your business with the mindset to take control over your time and money. And guess what? You got to absolutely, unequivocally take your time back. Believe in that. Don't let somebody control the rest of your life, the rest of your life. Do not let someone control the rest of your life, the rest of your life. With that being said, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on Wednesday, Smile and Dial, where we're on the phone with agents. I'm working on some stuff right now for those that want to learn what to say, how to say some of the things when you're talking, and again, to continue the movement. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I guarantee you talk to your team the way I'm talking to you today, you're going to have a little bit more commitment. Why? Because there's a movement that needs to be created. Have a good day.